It's all covered in today's China Truths.
What happens when a global tech brand enters a new industry, not with innovation, but with imitation? On May 22, 2025, Xiaomi, a company once hailed as China's Apple, officially unveiled its first electric vehicle, the Xiaomi SU7, amid much fanfare. Billed as a technological leap, the launch quickly spiraled into controversy. What was meant to be a symbol of Chinese design and manufacturing strength instead exposed a troubling pattern: questionable design ethics, misleading marketing claims, and a widening gap between aspiration and execution. In just a matter of days, the SU7 was accused of copying Ferrari's signature design and color palette. Its real-world safety was cast into doubt after a deadly highway accident, and Xiaomi's announcement of a self-developed 3-nanometer chip drew skepticism from insiders, who alleged the company misled the public with exaggerated claims. The backlash was swift and global. Headlines from Bloomberg to the BBC raised concerns not just about Xiaomi, but about the integrity of China's tech and EV sectors as a whole. So, the question now is not just whether Xiaomi can build a car, it's whether a company and a country can build global trust in the age of scrutiny. The SU7 that fell flat, a product that misunderstood its audience. When Xiaomi introduced the SU7 to the world, it came wrapped in a promise: a next-generation electric SUV that would rival Tesla and disrupt the status quo. CEO Lei Jun spoke of world-class design, performance that redefines driving, and a car that would stand the test of time. The presentation was slick, the ambitions lofty. But as consumers and experts took a closer look, something didn't add up. Despite being marketed as a premium SUV, the SU7's design clearly prioritized sporty aesthetics over utility. It sat low to the ground, had limited cargo space, and lacked features typical of family-focused crossovers. Rather than appearing as a rival to the Tesla Model Y or the BYD Tang, both considered practical EV SUVs, the SU7 bore more resemblance to a performance sedan in disguise.
It's not an SUV. It's a fastback sedan with delusions of grandeur.
For many Chinese consumers, especially families, SUVs serve practical purposes: weekend trips, long-distance comfort, room for children, and luggage. The SU7's cramped interior and sloping roofline made it ill-suited to this role. Buyers were quick to point out the disconnect between Xiaomi's marketing language and the actual driving experience. At a price of 300,000 yuan and $41,500, the SU7 also failed to provide a clear advantage in value. Its 770-kilometer range, though impressive on paper, was measured using China's lenient CLTC testing standard, known for overstating real-world range by 20 to 30%. In actual use, the SU7 lags behind similarly priced competitors from Tesla, NIO, or BYD. Furthermore, Xiaomi emphasized handling and agility, qualities that appeal to sports car enthusiasts, not everyday SUV buyers. It raised a fundamental question: who exactly was this car designed for?
Am I supposed to take my family drifting in this thing?
What emerged was a pattern of disconnection. Xiaomi had built a car that looked good on stage, but not in the lives of the people it hoped to reach. In trying to impress, it forgot to serve. In promising everything, it delivered little of what truly mattered. A Ferrari in green, design controversy, and the ethics of imitation. The Xiaomi SU7 was supposed to mark the company's bold entry into the electric vehicle market, but almost instantly, its design became a lightning rod for criticism. What was intended to evoke admiration instead triggered accusations of blatant imitation, particularly of the Ferrari Puro Sangue. The controversy began just 15 minutes before Xiaomi's official launch, when Ferrari China published a post celebrating the Verde Dora color, a deep emerald green historically reserved for custom high-end builds. Moments later, Xiaomi revealed the SU7 in what appeared to be an identical shade. Ferrari didn't name names, but the timing spoke volumes. Side-by-side comparisons flooded social media. The sloping roofline, body proportions, and front-end styling of the SU7 bore a striking resemblance to Ferrari's Puro Sangue SUV. Critics online were quick to coin a new term: Ferrami, a hybrid of Ferrari and Xiaomi. It's not inspiration when you copy both the shape and the paint. That's strategy, just not a proud one. noted one designer on X. This isn't the first time Xiaomi has faced such allegations. In earlier leaks, the SU7 was already compared to Porsche's Taycan, prompting similar outcry. While some similarities in automotive design are inevitable, the repetition raises questions. At what point does shared aesthetic become creative theft? Worse still, evidence suggests the resemblance wasn't coincidental. Xiaomi had hired a former BMW designer for the project, and shortly after, the SU7's interior displayed a panoramic curved screen nearly identical to BMW's next-gen dashboard concept. The optics were hard to ignore. To many observers, this wasn't just about a car, it was about what China's emerging industries project to the world. Are they building original visions or borrowing global prestige? For Ferrari, imitation may be the sincerest form of flattery. But for Xiaomi, it risks becoming a pattern too obvious to defend. The global audience is watching more closely than ever.
In a digital era where aesthetics can make or break a brand, the line between inspiration and appropriation is not just legal. It's cultural, reputational, and deeply strategic.
A highway tragedy, when design failures turn deadly and trust shatters. Design controversies spark debate, but real-world disasters ignite outrage and heartbreak. In late March 2025, just before Xiaomi's SU7 launch, tragedy struck. A high-speed crash in central China involved a Xiaomi SU7 that burst into flames, killing 3 female university students. Verified reports and harrowing photos on Weibo and Xiaohongshu revealed the car engulfed in fire, raising alarms about a catastrophic failure of the battery containment system, likely a thermal runaway event where damaged batteries ignite uncontrollably. This isn't a simple defect, it's a fatal design failure, warned an EV expert on a state-backed automotive forum. Worse yet was Xiaomi's muted response. Days after the tragedy, the company's brief statement offered condolences but no transparency or technical insight. For a brand famed for quick smartphone customer care, this silence deepened suspicion. Then came another blow. Customers and reviewers exposed the so-called dual-duct carbon fiber hood as a mere standard composite with cosmetic carbon accents. Accusations of misleading marketing flooded social media. Refund demands and angry critiques replaced earlier enthusiasm.
I trusted Xiaomi's promise of quality. This car betrayed that trust.
Lamented a frustrated early buyer on Bilibili. These incidents aren't just technical failures, they expose a dangerous gap between Xiaomi's image and reality. As the company leaps from electronics to critical automotive tech, mistakes now cost lives, credibility, and consumer faith. Xiaomi's journey from tech hero to cautionary tale is a stark reminder. When safety is on the line, trust must never be compromised. A 3nm chip or a marketing mirage? The Surge 01 controversy. Xiaomi's Surge 01, unveiled as China's first fully self-developed 3nm smartphone chip, promised to surpass Apple's latest processors in efficiency and performance. However, a whistleblower revealed that much of its architecture was built using external IP, with core modules sourced from third parties. The chip was manufactured by TSMC using its 3nm N3E process, but skirted U.S. export limits by staying under the transistor count threshold. Critics also pointed out that Xiaomi's performance tests used unrealistic conditions, designed more to impress investors than reflect real-world use. Furthermore, Surge 01 lacks an integrated 5G modem, relying on foreign basebands from Qualcomm or MediaTek, showing continued dependence on external technology. Beyond the technical issues, reports surfaced of intense work conditions, with engineers pressured to meet marketing deadlines at the expense of product readiness. This raised questions about Xiaomi's corporate culture and ethical priorities, suggesting the push for a headline-grabbing launch overshadowed genuine innovation. This is less of a breakthrough and more of a branding campaign, said one tech columnist. The Surge 01 controversy highlights China's tech sector tension, a push for rapid progress often built on borrowed foundations, where transparency is sacrificed for global recognition. Global reputation at risk, why the world is watching. The Xiaomi SU7 controversy has attracted intense global scrutiny, not just for its technical failures, but for what it represents: trust. In today's interconnected world, trust is the most valuable yet fragile currency in global commerce. While Chinese companies like Huawei, BYD, and DJI have made significant progress in shedding the copycat label through innovation, scandals like SU7 risk undoing that hard-earned reputation and reinforcing old stereotypes. Major international media outlets such as Bloomberg, the South China Morning Post, and the Financial Times have not only reported the facts, but have placed the SU7 saga in a broader context, comparing it to past controversies like Zote's failed luxury car attempts, Xiaomi's pattern of silence after a fatal fire, vague responses to product defects, and exaggerated claims about its 3-nanometer chip suggest a recurring issue of overpromise and underdeliver, which undermines both the company and China's broader ambitions. When one flagship fails, it casts a shadow over the whole fleet, as the Straits Times editorial noted. With Chinese EV makers expanding aggressively into European and Southeast Asian markets, the stakes are higher than ever. Consumers and investors now judge not only product quality, but also corporate transparency and ethics. Meanwhile, Western governments have tightened regulations on EVs, semiconductors, and AI, citing national security and data privacy concerns. Incidents like the SU7 scandal only strengthen the case for increased oversight of Chinese tech firms. Ultimately, the SU7 debacle is more than a failure of engineering or design. It is a critical test of China's ability to build trust on the global stage, and the world is watching every move. From prototype to pride, can China learn from this? The Xiaomi SU7 was never just a car. It was meant to represent China's shift from imitator to innovator, but its journey exposed deeper issues: design imitation, safety concerns, marketing exaggerations, inflated tech claims, and reputational damage. The lesson is clear: progress without accountability is fragile. Xiaomi's mistakes may be forgiven, but only if they bring real change in culture, oversight, and ethics. In today's world, global brands are built on trust, not just output. The real question now is, can Chinese companies face the world with nothing to hide, knowing credibility must be earned, not claimed?
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.